Divya ma'am, maybe we can just begin.
Sure, ma'am.
Sure.
Mitaji?
Shall
Yeah,
we begin?
shall we begin?
Yeah, students will keep coming because they
Okay.
just their classes. So they are coming in and they will join. Meanwhile, we'll start.
Okay, so how many do we have right now? How many students are there?
40.
For
Okay, and how many are we expecting?
ma'am, at least 15 to 20 more will be joining.
And some faculty members are also interested. One more faculty member we have with us, Amarjit Kaur from some other department, Punjabi
Sure,
department.
sure.
So people
Sure.
are coming because they just went went ahead with the classes till 3.
Okay.
Now they come in. Yeah.
Okay. So what we'll do is, I think we have a 1 hour session. We'll try and make it interactive, and please ask in between. We won't, I won't speak for 45 minutes and then open it to questions. If you prefer that, that's also fine. But as and when something strikes you, if it's imperative, just go ahead and ask, because also that's what children do, na? When you're teaching in a class, it's very difficult to tell them end mein puchna. So I want to keep this very much like a classroom situation, because we are talking about how, and all of us are teachers. Forgive my throat, I have a bad throat. We're all teachers, not COVID, just a bad throat. These days we have to clarify. I hope you all are well. Everybody, okay. So we're going to be talking about how heritage is really a resource for teaching. And before we begin with it being a resource for teaching, I want to just define, for the purposes of a classroom, that
Mita,
when we, yeah,
I have a question.
lovely, please ask. Huh?
Also a request, also permission from your side that if we can introduce you first, welcome you very warmly, though we are, very much
All
thankful
the
to you.
formalities, okay.
So if
Please
only,
do.
because I'm asking as a student of your class only.
Please do.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you. So I welcome all of you on the behalf of the Department of Elementary Education to the second lecture of the Academic Enrichment Lecture Series titled Delhi, the Heritage City. The title of today's lecture is Heritage, an Interdisciplinary Subject to Enhance Teaching by Ms. Smita Vats, founder and director Itihas. Before beginning, I request our department's teacher in charge, Dr. Ravneet Kaur, to brief a bit about the ongoing lecture series. Ravneet,
Thank you very much, Anshika ma'am. A very, very warm and hearty welcome to Smita ma'am, first of all. And it is a pleasure, ma'am, to attend a lecture from you. We've been really looking forward to it. And ma'am, we started this series because we feel the need to connect with our environment more so in this situation. When we have been divorced from our environment, the physiological and psychological need to be one with our heritage, which is material or non material, was felt very deeply by all of us. So, we thought that we will begin with this lecture series where we are bringing the environment and the wellness connected with the environment into our own classrooms and to our students. So, this is the task with which we started this whole lecture series. And of course, you don't need any introduction, ma'am, because your persona and we can just feel the warmth of a teacher already. So, without taking much time, I will very heartily welcome you once again and thank you for being with us. Over to you, Anshika, ma'am.
thank you, Dr. Ravneet. So, ma'am, with your permission, again, I would like to introduce the audience to Smita ji. So, just a second. So, Smita ji is the founder, director, and managing trustee of Itihas, the Indian Traditions and Heritage Society, which focuses on bringing our rich heritage and traditions closer to the world of school-going children. Itihas was founded in 2004-5 and began working with 1,200 children from 6 schools. And today, Itihas works with over 50,000 children every academic year from 200 schools in the NCR region. Itihas runs many programs apart from the Walks program for children from all socioeconomic backgrounds. At Itihas, Smitaji has worked with and trained over 3,500 guides across the country and upskilled them. Many of them are women and persons with disabilities. Itihas regularly works with tourism departments in India to design heritage walks and related material to promote tourism. She has been a teacher trainer for 15 years and has worked with various companies to build teams using heritage as a tool. She is on the governing board of Bal Bhavan and has written several papers on the role of heritage education within the school curriculum. She has also been professionally involved in the training of personnel connected to film and television over the last 15 years. Smitaji was a consultant to Aaj Tak channel when it was launched in 2001. She has also worked extensively on the production side with news, documentary, fiction, and films, and has expertise in directing multicam setups in studios as well as outside. She has been a consultant to many channels for live broadcast and studio based productions. Smitaji has been regularly directing fiction and non fiction films for different channels and NGOs relating to social issues. She has worked extensively on issues related to disability and has been actively involved in theatre and radio. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Now, the session is all yours, and Ms. Divya will be moderating the same. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. That's a very long welcome and a lot said, which is my fault. I didn't edit my CV in a hurry. I just sent across what was lying with
Ma'am, I
me.
thought
But,
there was nothing which could have been edited, so I couldn't stop myself from.
no, don't believe CVs, okay? They are just written for the sake of it. Okay. Thank you so much for that lovely welcome. Should we begin, Divya? Yeah. So taking all that Ravneet has said as to why you began the series and this, I'm going to talk a little bit about Itihas before we actually dive into heritage. As Anshika read out, that my background is not history. My background is not heritage, because in our time, heritage was not a concept like it is today. In college, I studied psychology, which had nothing to do with what I'm doing today. And then I went on to make documentary films, which also has nothing to do with what I'm doing today. Yes, I did help set up Aaj Tak, and I quit a very high-paying job the day they decided to telecast Karwa Chauth live. And I decided that media had a greater role to play than to promote. These are personal things, and I don't think it come in the domain of media. So what I'm trying to say is that, for all of you who are attending this lecture, everything that you do finally adds up. And there is a study which says that the generation that we have today, who's now joining jobs, like all of you, will change 6 to 7 careers in a lifetime. Right? Because today, in my lifetime, if I look at it, I have already jumped 3 careers. And I may be moving on to a 4th career. So all of you may be teachers today, but you may, teaching may be a stepping stone to something else that you're going to do. And also what I want to say is that what you do outside of your classroom makes you a good or a better or the best teacher. Like is often said that everybody does a job, but what we do in our free time is really what defines us. How do I spend the time that I'm not working, or I'm not cooking, or I'm not doing housework? Which really means that what is my hobby? What are my areas of interest? And if we look at Itihas really began because you know, when I was growing up in our home, हम लोग जब खाना खाते थे तो एक रूल था कि सब साथ बैठ के खाना खाएंगे, अलग अलग कमरों में, कोई अपना टीवी देख रहा है, कोई कुछ देख रहा है, ऐसे खाना खाना अलाउड नहीं होता था। तो जब हम सब एक साथ बैठ के खाना खाते थे, बहुत किस्से कहानियां सुनते थे लोगों की जिंदगी की। तो जब मैंने फिल्में बनाना खत्म किया या खत्म हो गया, आई थॉट दैट यू नो व्हेन आई ग्रो ओल्ड, मैं क्या किस्से सुनाऊंगी लोगों को। मैं यही किस्से सुना सकती हूँ, अरे हमारे टाइम में मेट्रो में बड़ी भीड़ होती थी। अब तो ऑफ कोर्स ये जो साल बीता है ये एक बहुत बड़ा किस्सा होगा आगे जाके हम सबको सुनाने के लिए। पर मुझे लगा कि हम सबकी जो जिंदगियां हैं वो इतनी you know, they're so tied in with rushing somewhere. There's no relaxation. There are no other interests. There is no time for other interests. Everything is about career, about, you know, where do you get a job? How much salary do you get? But I want to tell you from personal experience that if you're good at what you do, everything else follows. And I think teaching is one of the most challenging professions. पहले कहते थे टीचर बन जाओ, अच्छा है, बहुत आसान काम है, 2 बजे घर आ जाओगे. You must have heard mothers and grandmothers say that. But today teaching is not that. Teaching is an extremely challenging job because you're handling WhatsApp groups, you're handling parents, you're handling you know, admin, you're always staying back. So the challenges are increasing. And so you need to prepare for those challenges. That how do you not get exhausted as a teacher? How do you not in 10 years say, I'm fed up and I'm bored? क्योंकि इतना लोड होता है एक टीचर पे कि हम you see, teaching requires a lot of innovativeness and a lot of energy. मेनली फिजिकल एनर्जी. बच्चों में इतनी एनर्जी है कि अगर हम थक के बोलेंगे, चिल्ड्रन गेट पुट ऑफ. सो फिजिकल एनर्जी comes along with mental energy, and I think heritage is a source from where we can draw that energy. So coming back to the word heritage, I'll tell you a little secret. When Itihas started to work in the field of education, we used to call schools, you know, we used to phone them. And every school would not hear the word Itihas because they were not tuned to thinking that a visit to the Qutub or a visit to Nizamuddin Dargah or a visit to a Chandni Chowk could be a place to learn. It didn't exist for them. बाहर जाना meant picnic, बर्गर, कचरा फेंक के आओ इधर उधर, लेस चिप्स लेके जाओ. पर हम बाहर जाके कुछ सीख सकते हैं, ये कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत नया था दिल्ली के स्कूल्स के लिए. तो जब हमने शुरू में स्कूल्स में बात करनी शुरू करी, we were the first organization to really pioneer this kind of work. Most schools heard it as Tihar. So they would tell me, तिहार से बोल रहे हैं. So I would say, नहीं, तिहार अभी मैं पहुंची नहीं हूँ तिहाड़ जेल, मैं इतिहास से बोल रही हूँ. So it was very amusing that, and then they would forward our call to the history teacher. कि अच्छा, इतिहास है, heritage है, तो history का subject हो गया. How many of you even today think that itihas is to do with history? Can few of you give me a response in the chat box so I get an idea? How many of you at your first reaction feel that itihas is to do with history? So Swati says she thinks so. Okay. Aneet also says she thinks so. Kajal, Sadia, everybody. Okay, so first we need to break this. Heritage has very little to do with history. And I think the next 5-7 minutes I'm going to explain why I say this to you, and then we can discuss it. So we are not talking, if you read any of Itihas's literature or you check out our website, we never use the word history. The word we use is always heritage. और हेरिटेज क्या है? अगर हम हेरिटेज को डिफाइन करें तो हेरिटेज हमारी इनहेरिटेंस है, जिस चीज को हम इनहेरिट करते हैं पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी से, इनहेरिट और हेरिटेज। और हम सबके पास घरों में, अगर आप घर जाके पूछें या घर में पूछें, तो कुछ चीज होगी, कोई चीज होगी जो बहुत पुरानी है। हो सकता है कोई शॉल हो सकता है कोई बर्तन हो, या कोई लकड़ी का कोई डब्बा हो, संदूक हो, कोई लोटा हो, साड़ी, या सिर्फ एक साड़ी का बॉर्डर हो, कोई दुपट्टा हो। सबके घर में कोई ना कोई चीज है जो बहुत पुरानी है। आई थिंक यू विल ऑल अग्री ऑन दैट। So that is our inheritance. That is जो दिव्या मैम के घर में है, या जो मेरे घर में है, या आप में से किसी के भी घर में है, वो आपकी इनहेरिटेंस है, वो आपकी पर्सनल इनहेरिटेंस है। उसको हम शेयर नहीं करते हैं। जो आपका संदूक है वो मेरा नहीं है, जो आपकी शॉल है वो मेरी नहीं है। तो वो हम सबकी इंडिविजुअल इनहेरिटेंस है, राइट? और उस इनहेरिटेंस को हम बहुत संभाल के रखते हैं। जैसे घर में अगर कोई पुरानी शॉल होगी, वो एक मलमल के कपड़े में लपेट के रखी होगी, या किसी और कपड़े में बांध के, वो ऐसे ही खुली बाहर तो नहीं टंगी होगी, बहुत संभाल के रखी होगी। क्योंकि इनहेरिटेंस को हमारे देश में हम बहुत करीब रखते हैं अपने, हम उसकी बहुत रक्षा करते हैं, उसको मानते हैं, उसका एक वैल्यू होता है। जैसे वो बहुत जो पुरानी शॉल होगी, हो सकता है नानी की हो, तो उसको हम बेच नहीं देंगे अनलेस बहुत कोई मजबूरी हो। हम उसको संभाल के रखते हैं कि वो अगली पीढ़ी को देंगे, राइट? Now that is our personal inheritance, but there is something that we all share, which is our collective inheritance, जो हम सबकी है और कॉमन है। जैसे कि त्योहार मनाने के तरीके, है ना, जो हमारे देश में एक सेक्युलर अप्रोच है कि ईद हो या गुरपुरब का दिन हो या छठ पूजा हो, आज छठ पूजा है, तो हम एक दूसरे के त्योहारों में सिर्फ भागीदार नहीं है। जैसे अगर आप अमेरिका जाएं तो, या किसी भी फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कंट्री में, यू विल फाइंड दैट if there is a family that celebrates Diwali and another American family who's celebrating Halloween or Christmas, तो हम सिर्फ उनको विश कर देंगे मेरी क्रिसमस, खत्म। It is only an exchange of wishes. But in India, our traditions are very intertwined. वो बहुत गुंधी हुई हैं, बहुत बंधी हुई हैं। और हम हमारा नेबर्स के साथ या मोहल्ले में या फोन पे जो हमारे फ्रेंड्स हैं, कम से कम व्हाट्सएप विशेस, तो आवर कल्चरल इंटरट्वाइनिंग इज वेरी डीप। इट्स लाइक जब ऊन के गोले में बहुत गांठें पड़ जाती है ना, तो उसको खोलने में बहुत टाइम लगता है। तो हमारी जो सभ्यता है, या हमारा जो इतिहास है, या हमारी जो विरासत है, वो एक बहुत गठीले ऊन के गोले जैसी है, जिसको गठने में बहुत समय लगा है, हजारों साल लगे हैं, और उसको उधेड़ बुन के अलग करने में बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत है, यू नो। सो व्हाट आई एम रियली ट्राइंग टू कम टू इज दैट दो किस्म की हेरिटेज है। एक है हमारी पर्सनल, जिसको हम बहुत संभाल के रखते हैं, और एक है कलेक्टिव, जो हम कहते हैं है पर हमारी नहीं है। And where Itihas comes in is that we try and bring these two together. When we make heritage a subject for study, we try and bridge this gap of personal and collective. And why I say it's not like history, because अगर हम history शब्द को तोड़ें, if you all have a pen and paper, you write down the word his story. You break up the word history. It becomes his story. तो पहली बात ये कि हम हिस्ट्री को इतिहास में हर स्ट्री कहते हैं कि औरतों की भी कहानी है, सिर्फ आदमियों की नहीं. हिस्ट्री जैसे हम आज पढ़ते हैं, हमें ये हमेशा याद रखना है that how are our books written, our academic books, how are they written? They are written based on archival material, based on documentation that has been found, and the ancient texts or even the medieval text based on which our books are written, who wrote those texts? See, women were not taught to read and write. They were kept away from education. And even today, if you move out of the urban centers, many women are kept away from education. Or even, I would say, even in the urban centers, there comes a point where women are given the education but not allowed to follow a career of their dreams. Right? So there is still, हाँ, हम educate कर रहे हैं लड़कियों को, औरतों को, पर हम ये भी कह रहे हैं कि अब तुमने पढ़ लिख लिया इतना, अब काफी है. Now you need to get married, because finally you have to have a career which walks the middle path, you know, where you can handle both things. So for me, that's as good as saying, you know, then don't educate children, because what are you educating them for? I think when we say education, it's very important to allow everybody to reach their maximum potential, their optimum level of existence. That's what we need to do eventually. But the texts from which we draw information, remember, were written by men, because women couldn't write. In fact, there are very few texts which are written where women gave an input. For example, the Akbarnama. The Akbarnama has the input of Humayun's sister, Gulbadan Banu Begum. उनको पढ़ने लिखने से रोका गया, पर वो छिप छिप के पढ़ती थी, उन्होंने अपने आप को बहुत कुछ सिखाया. और फिर क्योंकि अकबर लिखते पढ़ते नहीं थे, और अकबर इसलिए लिखते पढ़ते नहीं थे क्योंकि जब वो बहुत छोटे थे उनको बादशाह बनना पड़ा, हार्डली 13 साल के थे, तो उनको कोई हार्म न पहुंचे, उनको कोई मार न दे, तो उनको कॉन्स्टेंटली मूव करते रहते थे. कभी यहाँ से दूर ले गए, काबुल में छिपा दिया, कभी काबुल से लाहौर में छिपा दिया, कभी लाहौर से रावलपिंडी, कभी रावलपिंडी से दिल्ली. तो वो बहुत मूव करते थे, और उस मूवमेंट की वजह से उनकी पढ़ाई बहुत इफेक्ट हुई. तो अकबर हमने सुना है कि पढ़ते लिखते नहीं थे, नॉट इसलिए क्योंकि वो उनमें अकल नहीं थी या वो पढ़ना लिखना नहीं चाहते थे, पर इसलिए बिकॉज उनका बचपन ऐसा गुजरा दैट ही कुड नॉट गेट अ स्टेबल education. So he asked Gulbadan, who was his aunt, that आप अकबरनामा लिखिए. तो कुछ पुराने टेक्स्ट हैं जिसमें औरतों का व्यू पॉइंट है, लेकिन हर टेक्स्ट में नहीं है. तो जब हम लिखी लिखाई हिस्ट्री को रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं, we are actually reproducing a very one-sided story. It is not a balanced view of our past. And that is why Itihas does not deal with history. It deals with heritage. Heritage में सब कुछ है. It encompasses history. थोड़ी सी history है, बिल्कुल चुटकी भर, जैसे नमक डलता है दाल में. लेकिन it is not in totality only history. Heritage में maths है, और बहुत सारा maths है. History से ज्यादा maths है. क्यों? आप मुझे ये बताइए, अगर कुतुब, जिसको आप सबने देखा होगा, अगर उसमें मैथमेटिक्स न होती तो क्या वो 1200 साल से खड़ा होता इमारत? वो गिर जाता. वो खड़ा ही, उसकी साइंटिफिक ग्राउंडिंग ना होती तो वो गिर जाता. सिमिलरली क्योंकि हम लोग दिल्ली में रहते हैं, तो हम अगर लाल किले की बात करें, लाल किला जितना जमीन के ऊपर है उतना ही जमीन के नीचे है। लेकिन आप सबको पता है कि लाल किले के बिल्कुल पीछे यमुना बहती है। अब तो बहुत दूर चली गई है यमुना, पर बिल्कुल लाल किले के पीछे बहती थी। तो जब वो जमीन के नीचे खोदेगा कारीगर, तो उसको तो वहां पानी मिलेगा ना। ग्राउंड वाटर तो 3 फीट पे था। बल्कि आप लाल किले में तंबू नहीं गाड़ सकते थे, क्योंकि अगर आप तंबू गाड़ते तो वहां फुहारे निकलते थे। तो पानी इतनी ऊंचाई पे था, तो साइंटिफिक नॉलेज तो चाहिए होगी ना। अगर हमें जमीन के नीचे 20, 26, 40 फुट के कमरे बनाने हैं, तो क्या वो हिस्ट्री है? व्हाट इज दैट सब्जेक्ट, टेल मी। साइंस, एब्सोल्युटली। आप में से कई लोगों ने अमीर खुसरो का नाम सुना होगा। हजरत अमीर खुसरो का नाम सुना है?
Yes, ma'am.
तो हजरत अमीर खुसरो दिल्ली में उनकी वो दिल्ली में रहते थे, जहां निजामुद्दीन औलिया की दरगाह है, वहीं वो रहते थे। हजरत निजामुद्दीन औलिया के बहुत बड़े मुरीद थे, डिसाइपल थे। और वो एक पोएट भी थे, जो आप सबने कहा है। वो सिंगर नहीं थे, अनीत कह रही हैं वो सिंगर थे, नहीं, वो खुद नहीं गाते थे, पर वो लिखते थे, बहुत सुंदर लिखते थे। पहेलियां लिखते थे बहुत सारी, जो आजकल बिल्कुल गायब हो गई हैं हमारी रोज की बोलचाल से। पहेली, हम लोग छोटे थे तो बहुत पहेलियां पूछते थे, लेकिन अब कोई पहेली पूछता नहीं है। वो एक बिजनेसमैन थे, उनका बहुत बड़ा कारोबार था, यहां से लेके बंगाल तक उस टाइम। वो उन्होंने सितार और तबले को इन्वेंट किया। म्यूजिक के बहुत शौकीन थे और उनको ज्ञान बहुत था, तो उन्होंने 2 म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट इन्वेंट करे जो आज भी बजाए जाते हैं। और उन्होंने उर्दू भाषा को इन्वेंट किया। ही इज द फादर ऑफ द उर्दू लैंग्वेज। इन्वेंट इज अ वेरी, आई डोंट लाइक द वर्ड, इजाद किया इज बेटर। उर्दू भाषा में खड़ी बोली भी है और पर्शियन भी है। और इसकी वजह ये थी कि उनको निजामुद्दीन औलिया ने कहा कि जो आवाम है, जो कॉमन मैन है दिल्ली का, उसको समझ नहीं आ रहा उस वक्त के जो राजा हैं, जो बादशाह हैं, जो खिलजी थे, तुगलक थे, ये सब बादशाह रहे दिल्ली में। और वो पर्शियन बहुत बोलते थे, मतलब पर्शियन उनकी मेन भाषा थी। तो उन्होंने कहा कि आवाम को कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा। कैन यू इमेजिन कि अगर मैं ये लेक्चर आपको लैटिन में दूं, तो आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि मैं बोल क्या रही हूं। तो निजामुद्दीन औलिया ने उनको कहा कि आप एक ऐसी भाषा इन्वेंट करो जो सब लोग समझ पाए। इसलिए उन्होंने पर्शियन और जो यहाँ की भाषा थी खड़ी बोली, दोनों को मिलाकर एक थोड़ी और सरल भाषा बनाई, सो दैट लोग एक दूसरे की बात समझ पाए। सो माय क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, हजरत अमीर खुसरो एक बिजनेसमैन थे, तो उनकी अकाउंटिंग बहुत स्ट्रांग थी, क्योंकि वो करोड़ों का उस वक्त कारोबार संभालते थे। वो एक सूफी थे। सूफी जो होते हैं आमतौर पे, जो असल सूफी होते हैं, उनमें एक पर्सनल ग्रीड नहीं होती। तो वो इतने अमीर थे और फिर भी फकीर थे। तो दैट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल बैलेंस। उन्होंने एक भाषा का इजाद किया, उन्होंने म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स का इजाद किया, उन्होंने पोएट्री लिखी। तो आप सब टीचर्स हैं, मुझे बताइए कि अगर वो 10th के बाद अपनी स्ट्रीम चुने, तो वो कौन सी स्ट्रीम ले? I have to wear my glasses to read your answers. हजरत अमीर खुसरो क्या करें? साइंस लें, आर्ट्स लें, कॉमर्स लें, क्या करें? ह्यूमैनिटीज लें। तनिष्क सेज ह्यूमैनिटीज। अगर मुझे तबला इजाद करना है तो मुझे क्या नॉलेज चाहिए? साउंड की, अकूस्टिक्स की, मेरे आसपास कौन सा पेड़ उग रहा है, क्योंकि कौन से पेड़ की लकड़ी इतनी मजबूत होगी कि उसकी आवाज ठीक बजे। कोई कह रहा है फिजिक्स, कोई कह रहा है साइंस, कोई कह रहा है ऑल।
Now I think accounts is important as well.
अकाउंट्स भी इंपॉर्टेंट है।
So no particular discipline for him.
तो फॉर्चुनेटली हजरत अमीर खुसरो सीबीएसई बोर्ड में नहीं पढ़ते थे। अगर वो सीबीएसई बोर्ड के विद्यार्थी होते तो हमारे पास हजरत अमीर खुसरो ही ना बनते। And I think this is the crux of this talk, that when we talk of heritage, heritage is all encompassing. उसमें मैथ्स है, साइंस है, आर्ट्स है, एस्थेटिक्स है, एथिक्स है, क्या सही है क्या गलत है, उसमें रिस्पेक्ट है, उसमें कॉमन सेंस है, बेसिक अकल जिसके लिए लिटरेसी जरूरी नहीं। हमारे जो कारीगर हैं जो शायद पढ़े लिखे ना हो, उनमें बहुत कॉमन सेंस है, उनमें बहुत नॉलेज है, बहुत ज्ञान है। तो लिटरेसी और ज्ञान थोड़ा क्लैश करते हैं। एंड आई थिंक नॉलेज ऑफ आवर एनवायरमेंट, एनवायरमेंट के साथ जब हम जीते हैं तो वो अपने आप नॉलेज बन जाती है। जब हम सोचते हैं कि हम नॉलेज की एक घुट्टी घोल के पी जाएं या नॉलेज हमें कैप्सूल में मिल जाए, तो वो कभी इम्बाइब नहीं होता। So I'm coming back to my first point, that heritage is something we inherit. So whether you are inheriting, आपके जो घर में किचन में मसाले का डब्बा है, उसमें हर मसाले के क्या फायदे हैं, वो कैसे आपकी हेल्थ को इम्पैक्ट करता है, मैदा खाने से आपको कितना हार्म है, कितनी बुरी चीज है मैदा हमारे सिस्टम के लिए, ये सब इनहेरिटेड नॉलेज है। और ये सिखाने पे नहीं आती, ये जीने पे आती है। एंड इंडिया इज अ कंट्री वेयर लकीली we still have many generations living together in the same home, and there is so much to learn from the elders who we live with, which I call common sense. It is common sense knowledge. At the same time, I'm not saying that everything that we did in the past is right. There are things we have to change, but the challenge of every century has been to take what is good and leave behind what we didn't need. But in Delhi, there has always been what should I say? The thread of power has always been Delhi, which is why Aam Aadmi Party is such a big threat today, no? Because they hold Delhi to other governments, because they hold Delhi. So everybody who ruled over Hindustan wanted to hold Delhi. The reason being that Delhi is a very important connected city as you move from the north to the south. Delhi fell, it was one of the first cities, Lahore of course was one of them, Lahore, Amritsar, and then moving on to Delhi, Gwalior, and then you went into the Madhya Bharat region. But the largest area that every dynasty fought for was the Delhi belt, for many reasons, but one of the reasons being its fertility. Delhi is a very, very fertile plain in the Indo-Gangetic plain. So is Allahabad, today Prayagraj. So is this whole belt. But the invaders who came into Delhi came from the north, and they didn't come from the eastern side as much as they came from the western side. So which is why Delhi has always been a city which was attacked many times by every dynasty of invaders who came. And they would build in and around Delhi. Then the next dynasty would come, they would demolish that and they would rebuild. And this went on and on and on and on till such time that there were many cities in Delhi. That's why if you look up the net, which is probably the worst, one of the worst ways to research the internet and listen, and following Wikipedia. Well, what is a good way to research is ideally to visit an archives, to read more papers, and old texts are very difficult to find, which is why I'm not saying that. But I have to tell you that a lot of tradition and knowledge lives in people. So a very good source for information is talking to people. आप कहीं भी जाएं, आप वहाँ के लोकल लोगों से बात करें, आप वहाँ का लोकल खाना खाएं. Like, if you're all training to be teachers, you will be taking school trips outside. You'll take, hopefully, once COVID is over and finished, you will have to take school trips, and you will find that children will be ordering pizza, shahi paneer, rajma chawal, because that's what they're used to. That's our comfort zone. But one of the challenges of travel must always be कि वहाँ का जो local information है, आप उससे खुद को connect करें, because that is heritage. In fact, in our country, food is a very big heritage. And not only does Delhi have a history, every city in India has a huge history and a huge, is a huge source of knowledge. If we were to go by the three new cities in India, really, by my information, are Chandigarh, which is a relatively new city, Gandhinagar near Ahmedabad is a new city, and the city part of Bhubaneswar is a new city. Of course, Bhubaneswar has many old temples, but as a city, it used to be Puri in Odisha. So in our country, every city has a heritage, not just Delhi. So I would really not even limit this lecture to only Delhi. I would now like to just say that, like I've given you a glimpse, 1 hour is a very short time to really tell you how heritage can become a source of teaching. But I can say, for example, if you're teaching maths in class, right? If any of you is a maths teacher, you can take the boundary wall of a fort, or you can take the diameter of the Qutub and talk about radius, diameter, and circumference, but using a heritage structure. That is how you make heritage a classroom subject. So heritage, again, cannot be a separate subject that you teach. But in heritage, you can teach science. So heritage is like a mother of all subjects. In heritage, you can teach bhasha. If you're teaching letter writing, let them write a letter to Akbar. Take them to visit Fatehpur Sikri, and let them write about asking Akbar why did he build a new capital. So you can connect heritage to everything that you do. Especially we do this very often when we take children to visit a mosque or a dargah. I ask a question that I won't ask it here because it's difficult for you to respond. कि आप में से कितने लोग उर्दू बोलते हैं? Does anybody here? Okay, let me ask it to all of you. How many of you speak Urdu? Anybody here speaks Urdu? You learned from TV. Never learn anything from TV. That's a ground rule. TV is about entertainment. Okay, how many of you, when you are sitting at home और आपका कोई relative या कोई जोर से दरवाजा बंद करता है, how many of you use the word दरवाजा and how many of you say द्वार बंद करो? Does anybody say द्वार बंद करो? How many of you say जगह? How many of you say स्थान? ये बस कौन से स्थान पे रुक गई? कभी कोई कहता है? नहीं, हम कहते हैं जगह। तो हमें पता भी नहीं कि हमारी भाषा में कितने उर्दू के शब्द हैं। Okay, thank you. Few Urdu words, daily many words, everyday language. Okay, thank you. So, you see, it's all intermingled in our daily language. In spoken form, all of us use what is Hindustani, which has many words of Urdu. So, हम हिंदी बोल ही नहीं रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट जब स्कूलों में हिंदी का यूनिट टेस्ट होता है उसको रिवर्ट कर देना चाहिए, उर्दू करके नहीं, फिर तो बहुत पॉलिटिकल क्राइसिस हो जाएगा, लेकिन हिंदुस्तानी तो कह ही सकते हैं क्योंकि हमारी भाषा में बहुत हिंदुस्तानी है और हिंदुस्तानी बनी है उर्दू के साथ, और उर्दू का जन्म दिल्ली में हुआ है। कई टीचर्स भी और बच्चे भी मुझे कहते हैं पाकिस्तान में उर्दू का, पाकिस्तान तो तब था ही नहीं, उर्दू का जन्म मैं जंगपुरा में रहती हूँ तो मैं बहुत खुशी से कहती हूँ मेरे घर से 2 किलोमीटर दूर हुआ है। तो उर्दू की पैदाइश दिल्ली में है और वो भाषा जैसे वो ऊन का गोला है जिसमें बहुत सी गांठें डली हुई हैं, वो उन सब गांठों में से एक है, उसको आप खोल ही नहीं पाओगे, वो गंठा ही रहेगा क्योंकि वो हमारे इतिहास का एक हिस्सा है। तो I'm going to start winding up so that I can take questions. And I'm happy to take this further. Itihas does several worksheets for every age group. And all our worksheets are interdisciplinary. आप चाहे चांदनी चौक जाएं, तो चांदनी चौक में आपके पास सीखने को मैथ्स है, सेक्युलर ट्रेडिशंस हैं क्योंकि उस एक सड़क पे चर्च है, मंदिर है, सीसगंज गुरुद्वारा है, मस्जिद है, गौरी शंकर मंदिर है। तो जितने धर्म इस देश की ताकत हैं वो सब धर्म उस एक सड़क पे रिप्रेजेंटेड हैं, और वो एकमात्र सड़क है पूरी पुरानी दिल्ली में जो सीधी है, जैसे राजपथ सीधा है। राजपथ की इंस्पिरेशन चांदनी चौक है। जब एडविन लटिन्स ने राजपथ सोचा तो उन्होंने, और भी देश थे जहां से इंस्पिरेशन ली, पेरिस से कुछ इंस्पिरेशन ली, लेकिन कुछ दिल्ली से भी ली, पर उनको कहने में शायद थोड़ी शर्म आई क्योंकि वो कहना नहीं चाहते थे, जैसे all Britishers didn't want to give credit at that time to many Indians, especially to Indian architecture. And Lutyens even said that Indians are children playing with stone. He thought we were no good at architecture, but yet he borrows a lot from traditional architecture in northern India as well as in Mahabalipuram. He borrows a lot from that. So Delhi is a city, that has, even today, it's one of the few cities where you can actually physically see built heritage of over 1,000 years. 1000 साल बहुत होते हैं। हम तो मेट्रो में बैठ के कुतुब को पार कर जाते हैं और कुतुब कह देते हैं, लेकिन वो हमारी सबसे पुरानी इमारतों में से एक है। तो चाहे सिरी फोर्ट की दीवार है, सिरी शहर की, या पुरानी दिल्ली तो जीता जागता शहर है, तो वहां तो हमें हवेलियां हैं और मस्जिदें हैं, मंदिर हैं, सब देखने को मिलता है। लेकिन तुगलकाबाद है, तो बहुत ये जो इलाका आज NCR कहलाता है, वो हमें एक अपॉर्चुनिटी देता है कि हम 1000 से ज्यादा साल को छू सकें। और ये बहुत रेयर है कि एक शहर में इतना इतिहास है. तो आई थिंक वी हैव टू नो अबाउट इट. जैसे मैं ये मानती हूँ कि जैसे हम सबको अपने नाम का मतलब पता है, जैसे अंशिका को मालूम है कि उनके नाम का मतलब क्या है, दिव्या का मतलब क्या है, मानसी का मतलब क्या है. हमारे नाम का एक मतलब है. हमारा नाम जैसे यूरोप में होता है जॉर्ज द फर्स्ट, जॉर्ज द सेकंड, जॉर्ज द फोर्थ, नंबर से तो नहीं जुड़ा हुआ ना. हम सबके बहुत सुंदर नाम है. और सिर्फ नाम नहीं, हमें सबको पता होता है कि हमारा परिवार कहाँ से आया. हम पंजाब से हैं या हम गुजरात से हैं. हमें अपना इतिहास पता है. हमें अपने घर में जो हमारी पर्सनल हेरिटेज है वो पता है. लेकिन जब एक कलेक्टिव हेरिटेज और कलेक्टिव इतिहास आता है, तब हम विकिपीडिया पे चले जाते हैं. और विकिपीडिया भी किसी इंसान की बनाई हुई, अपलोड करी हुई चीज है. तो हमेशा सही होगी ये जरूरी नहीं है, हमेशा गलत होगी ये भी जरूरी नहीं है. लेकिन और सोर्सेज को यूज करना बहुत जरूरी है, especially when we are in a position where we are going to be teaching it to young children. You know, what we are going to teach them is very important. और हम आज की जो political atmosphere है, I say this without any fear, that we are leading people up the wrong way. India is not and can never be a one religion country, because so many religions are entwined in it, just like that ball of wool. And our strength comes from our diversity. It's like आपको जितनी जानकारी होगी, आप उतने बेहतर इंसान बनेंगे. उसी तरह जितना डाइवर्स आपका कल्चर होगा, उतनी उसमें रिचनेस आएगी. जितने एक खाने में मसाले डलेंगे, तो उतना वो स्वादिष्ट बनेगा. So we cannot be a single religion country, and we should never be that. And as teachers, as educators, I think we have to fight this trend and stand very strongly on our multicultural, multi-ethnic, on our diverse backgrounds, and bring all this knowledge into our classroom. Whether it means हर क्लास में हर त्योहार को मनाना, या बच्चों को कहना कि कल छठ पूजा है तो जो जो छठ का प्रसाद लाओगे हम सब शेयर करके खाएंगे. तो सेक्युलरिज्म को क्लासरूम में लाना बहुत आसान है और टाइम नहीं लगता, उसमें मेहनत नहीं लगती. क्रिसमस है तो 2 बच्चे क्रिसमस केक ले आए और हम सब बांट के क्रिसमस की बात करें. तो सिंपल तरीके. और डेफिनेटली साइंस, लैंग्वेज, and the diverse multicultural nature of India can and must be brought into every classroom, so that our children are equipped to be able to handle what waits for them outside. More so because आज के घरों में बच्चों को जो information मिल रही है वो 99% टेलीविजन चैनल से आ रही है. सिर्फ बच्चों को नहीं, अडल्ट्स को भी, हम सबको भी. तो जब तक हम एक ऑल्टरनेट सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन विच इज फ्री फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल, कॉर्पोरेट एंड एडवर्टाइजिंग प्रेशर्स, जब तक वी डोंट फाइंड फॉर आवरसेल्व्स दिस फ्री सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज एंड बी एबल टू क्वेश्चन कि जो टीवी पे आ रहा है वो सही है कि गलत है, जो कहीं लिखा है वो सही है या गलत है. We have to be able to question that. But unless I have the required information, I will never be able to question it, because I won't know the other truth. So it's very important to know the other truth, because heritage has a lot of those answers, So I know I've gone around many topics, but I think they've also connected somewhere. And I'll leave it open to questions from you. I think we have about 15. I've overshot by 5 minutes. We'll take a couple of questions and then maybe wind it up.
This is really we can invite few questions from our participants. Students, please come up with the questions. You can unmute and ask it verbally. If you want me to read out from chat box, you can put in chat box as well. The fourth year girls and our freshers also are connected with us today. So they have just joined the college after their schooling was over. So they're also eager to participate in all the activities which we are doing. So they may also come up with their questions first year. Fourth year students are also there. Don't you have any question, any comment, any clarification you want it from ma'am? You can come up, please. Okay, Anshika ma'am has a request. If you can tell us something regarding role of heritage education within the school curriculum. You can have your view.
I think the whole talk has been on heritage education in the school curriculum. But like I said earlier, that we have about 100 schools who have a period called Itihas. Like you have computer education or like you have English or history, they have a period called Itihas. And we create special curricula which children study during that period. So practically many schools are following this up till class 8, from class 3 to 8, because by the time children reach class 9, there's a lot of academic pressure for the boards. But even if you end up in a school where they are not following the Itihas heritage curriculum, you as a teacher can bring heritage into the classroom in the ways that I have suggested. And because schools are driven by a lot of monetary pressures, and many times they're only looking at academic excellence because the marketability is very important. They're only looking at how many children get above 95%. So sometimes the extracurricular takes a back seat, but I do want to say that extracurricular is really what stands you in good stead in life, not your A's and your B's. So taking heritage education into your assembly, into your zero period, in ways that I have said, or in the class boards that you make, pick boards which are which celebrate heritage, so that these are the ways in which you can take it into the classroom.
Yes, very true. Other students, yes, Ashmeen has some comment. I think she says she is not having any question, but she wants to thank you for the session. Okay, so that's more of a comment. Yes, Kanika, please come up with your question. You can unmute and tell us what you want to ask.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am myself a student from humanities. I'm very interested into history and subjects like these. So while I was in class 11th, when I took up this stream, a lot of my classmates used to fear that, history and subjects like heritage would be full of content. They would have long paragraphs to be wrote, memorized, a lot of details, dates and artifacts and everything to be memorized. And even I see that in my in a lot of schools and this thing, that learners somewhat fear that history or heritage as a subject would be very full of content and we'll have to memorize everything because this is all just facts. So how do we take this belief into account and how do we work on it?
So tell me, how many of the things I've told you today have facts? Am I giving you dates more than chemistry? Have I given you more formulas than chemistry?
No, ma'am, nothing.
So I think that answers your question. Heritage is not history. I began by saying heritage is not history. So there are no facts. Heritage is what is around you. Heritage is stories. That's why history has the word story attached to it. और जब कहानियां सुनते हैं तो उनको रटना तो नहीं पड़ता ना, सुन सुन के याद हो जाती है. तो हेरिटेज भी वैसी चीज है जो जी के और उसके साथ इंटरैक्ट करके it becomes a part of you.
Like the way the schools have been doing in the name of heritage walks also, they take children to the monuments and then mostly the dates and the other, the factual aspects are covered and that's done. Like what you say is really missing in the way it has been doing. So like
so which is why we encourage schools to go with Itihas.
Right.
Because there is a there is a way in, of course, now for the next year at least till December 2021, if not longer, I don't think there can be any school trips. But trips should never be about dates, and heritage is not about monuments. You can do heritage, just outside your school. गुड़गांव में खड़े हो जाओ, गुड़गांव कैसे बना, वो भी एक हेरिटेज है. जरूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि इमारतें तो उन्होंने बनाई जिनके पास धन दौलत थी ना. तो सिर्फ लाल किला चले जाएं या सिर्फ कुतुब चले जाएं, वहां हिस्ट्री या हेरिटेज नहीं है. बहुत जगहों पे है.
Dr. Manisha is query, I think. Yes, ma'am, you can ask.
Yeah, hi Smita ma'am, Manisha here, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so I think it was a very insightful talk that you gave, and I think it's a new perspective that the students themselves, the kind of conception regarding heritage they had. So I think it has been revisited. My question, it's a query, like it's just an extension of the discussion which we are having right now. So you started with the challenge you faced, like in terms of when you were when you started Itihas and when you approach various schools. So I just wanted to understand, I think CBSE has also started something called heritage education and a paper on heritage education. I just wanted to know in terms of what is the position or understanding of heritage education that such educational institutions have right now. Do you think it is limited, or you think that it is inclusive of the understanding of heritage, which you were trying to discuss today through this talk also? And what are the challenges forward that you foresee, and how to make it more inclusive in terms of, and broad also in terms of how we understand heritage as such? So
Okay, so I don't know if which institutes are you talking about, schools, or are you talking about the boards like CBSE or ICSE?
CBSE, because again, further they are the ones, like the kind of books they recommend, and the kind of because I think it's a very limited understanding of heritage that they are proposing.
It is.
Yeah,
I agree with you that it's very limited, and in the future it's going to get even more limited. If you see the chapters which are being removed from the current books under the pretext of it being COVID year and post not being able to finish, we are taking away chapters which talk about rights, citizen rights. We are taking away education which talks about democracy or democratic institutions. We are taking away things which talk about Sufism and Bhakti movement, because those were very inclusive movements that our country had. They were secularism definitely is being taken away. So I would suggest to all teachers that you don't limit your teaching to books. We get caught up in course khatam karna hai. I think course is at one side, and if heritage has to happen as you teach, as you breathe. It's not something that can come out of a book. The challenges are definitely there, but I don't think we should worry about challenges, because unless there is a challenge, you'll never come up with an original solution. So there will be challenges as you teach. There will be very strong, maybe even speed breakers in your path. But I think it's very important to to be really the link that takes this heritage to our children. And it can never be in a book, because it will be interdisciplinary. Heritage by its very nature has all the disciplines in it, right? But our current education system, inspired by the British education system, is very divided into science, commerce, and arts. So the two thought processes don't merge, if you know what I mean. What heritage is interdisciplinary, it is more holistic, and the way we are teaching in our current schools is very broken up. You know, it's like when you go, it's like Ayurveda and allopathic. They can't come together. Very rarely. It needs a very mature mind to treat with both the streams. It's like when you walk into a hospital, you'll see a sign which says brain, kidney, heart. I mean, my body can't walk off in 3 directions, right? My brain is affected by my heart, by my kidney, by my lung. So allopathy has learned its science from studying a dead body, you know, through post-mortem. So the whole science of allopathy and Ayurveda are different. Same way, the understanding of heritage merging into a subject is a huge challenge. It may take another 50 years to happen. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that heritage has to be taught with each subject. It has to be maths and heritage, science and heritage, arts and heritage, music and heritage, you know, break time and heritage. What is the food the children are being allowed to bring? So heritage is like an underlying current that has to flow through the schools. Of course, I mean, like I said, we have 100 schools that follow our heritage curriculum, where they teach heritage. You know, they give us 2 periods a week or 1 period a week, but that is personal schools. That's not something that the board is yet ready to do. And their view of heritage is still Taj, Lal Killa, Qutub Minar, but that's not heritage. That is archaeology. Heritage is a living subject, and it's going to take us a while, but it is teachers like you who will bring the change. You know, as you become trainers in your own right, as you become headmistresses, as you interact with children, the change will come. I don't know, have I answered, Manisha, what your...
Yeah, I think, ma'am, we will further reflect on it in our classes also, because,
Yeah.
you know, just what you are saying and how, you know, like by introducing such papers, I think it gets the whole purpose of the understanding of heritage in a big way. Because I was going through some of the content that was there as part of the heritage education, so I felt that it was not at all not at all inclusive in that way. So I think that by introducing such papers and, you know, making it compulsory, or making schools introduce such do such papers in the school, so we are giving a sort of a not the complete understanding of the issue at hand. So
yeah, also I think heritage education has to start very young. It's like आप जब maths पढ़ाते हो, आप पहले numbers पढ़ाते हो, फिर आप addition पढ़ाते हो, फिर subtraction, फिर, you know, you make the level tougher. You can't say हम class 10 को एक heritage walk करा देंगे, उनको heritage आ गई. नहीं, आप prep में heritage शुरू करिए ना. आपको उस level से heritage को डालना है. पर हम हमेशा, अभी तो बहुत छोटा है ये, अभी they're too young for this. No, they are not. Heritage also has a complexity level. So you have to begin with it at a very early age in school. And in fact, we've just started an online program where any of your people can enroll. I think Manisha ji knows about it. It's called the Global Enrichment Learning Series, where we are teaching teachers how to teach heritage. It's a 10-session course which you can enroll for, which tells you how you can bring heritage into your classrooms. How do you put it into your into your test papers, into your assessment? How do you encourage peer assessment with using heritage? so there are multiple ways, and that's what we do. So we can do a separate talk on where we show you how to convert one trip into a worksheet. How do you assess a trip, or how do you do a unit test using heritage? Any subject doesn't matter. So, but that's a more detailed thing. This was a more general sort of a talk. So one can always do that.
Yeah, I had shared it with the students also, but like I shared, they are busy with their internship right now.
Whenever.
So yeah, later on maybe we can plan a detailed sort of workshop with you. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think last question of the evening, and ma'am has spoken so much about it already. What Kajal is asking, that how can we include heritage in our classes during online teaching these days? I mean, these are the students, ma'am, who are doing their internship online these days with some schools. So they are curious to know about how can they just include it.
So it depends what really you're teaching. You can include it, there are multiple ways. But if I have a specific, situation that you give me, I can maybe give you an idea. But like you include it in a live classroom, you include it in online teaching.
Yeah.
But if you have anything specific that you're teaching, then I can tell you, isko aise handle karo. But it's not something which has a blanket rule.
Kajal, do you have any topic for which you raised this concern?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I was teaching rotation, reflection, patterns. These were the topics. So I thought of, मतलब NCERT में है, उन्होंने bricks के patterns दिए हुए हैं. But how can I include it in online mode? मतलब at most I can show them pictures only, and we can talk about it. What else can we do?
Okay, maths में तुमने किया है ना? You are saying about maths. Okay.
So what is the concept that you are teaching in maths? Or if you like, you and I can have a separate talk. I'm happy to help you through this, and you can send me an email so that everybody is not getting bored, because you'll have to give me your exact subject that you're teaching. I'll give you an example. See, we do HCF and LCM at the Kutub. Grade 5 learns HCF, LCM using shadows of the Kutub. So they measure their shadow, we measure the shadow of the Kutub. So we innovate with them there. And what you will use also depends on the weather. But when you're outside, you can do many more things. When you're limited to online teaching, if you mail me, and I'll just say my email ID, it's vats.smita@gmail.com. Any of you can send me a query that this is the exact thing we're teaching, and I'll be able to read it and send you some thoughts on how to put heritage into the next class.
Sure. I think students approached with this invitation now. Okay, no more question. I don't see anything in the chat box except some remarks and comments. So can we wind up this evening, Anshika ma'am, Ramit ma'am? Okay. They have given a nod. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Formally, I would like to thank few people who have been behind this journey of ours. First of all, thank goes to you, ma'am, for our speaker, basically, for this beautiful talk, who has really weaved in all the threads of heritage and connected it well with all the school curriculum, attended the queries from students and teachers as well. And I take this platform to thank our principal ma'am also, who could not join us today due to some other engagements. But she is really kind enough to give us this responsibility and trusting us that we can take up this series to conduct with our department endeavor. And our convener, Dr. Arneet Kaur, is also there. I thank her also for being there with us as a pillar of strength throughout the journey. My colleagues also, Dr. Manisha, Dr. Aarti, and other teachers who have taken up time and attending the lectures and being contributing also. Special thanks goes to our students, our fourth year students and first year, who have just 3 days old to the department, and they have shown a lot of enthusiasm in participating, and they are quite reflective also while throughout this lecture, I found. So I hope our students can take this understanding gained through this lecture to their classrooms as well. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my colleague, my partner, and the co-host, whatever you name her, Ms. Anshika Srivastava. Without her help and support throughout, the consistency of these lectures cannot be maintained, I know. So thank you all for this evening and for this lecture.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. Smita ma'am, you have been very responsive despite the fact that you were traveling at times. You had
No
plans.
worries.
So like
No
we're
worries.
really grateful. And you know,
Not
I
at all.
spoke to Divya ma'am that I want this session not to end. It was taking such an interesting turn, but this limitation of time is
Yeah.
things that we
No,
do
we
not.
can always. I'm very happy to do more such series for you, more talks for you, and more specific ones. So we can take one chapter and work with your students to convert it into a unit test. So it's very practical in how they can do it. So we're happy to do that whenever you want next.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Divya ma'am, for being there.
We plan later on what ma'am has given us. Yeah.
Sure,
Thank you,
anytime.
Alamji, Divya ma'am, and Manisha ma'am, because she was the first one to initiate us in the communication with you. So thank you, Dr. Manisha.
Yes,
Thank
she's
you.
very, very proactive, and I thank her. And I think she's a huge inspiration to all her students, just like Yola, I'm sure. But good, they're lucky to have all of you.
And she's trying to be modest, not switching on her camera.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. And ma'am, we will definitely, plan more sessions with you.
Sure,
Like you
sure.
suggested, pedagogy specific also. And yes, I had in mind that with my social science students also, I wanted to plan something. But surely we can do with maths and language as well. I think you have given us a good,
Yeah, I think we
idea.
have to break out of this mindset of heritage
Yeah.
being only history.
Yeah,
I think that's important. Yeah.
We're
So thank
leaving.
you all very much.
You're